This is KFYO Mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin. And by golly, it is, what is it, Thursday morning, and the clock says it's 7:36. That could only mean one thing. It's time for the Car Pro. Jerry Reynolds. Give him a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, Jerry?
Hey, guys. Doing good. How about y'all?
Doing well, thank you.
Well, that's good. Been a very, very rainy week in Dallas this week, so I've been lucky enough to be driving around in the 2019 Subaru Forester Sport. This is a all-new SUV that Subaru just came out with, and they've not done a Sport before. But the Forester itself, it's got a lot of changes for 2019, starting with the chassis. Subaru's going to what they call the global platform, and what that means is eventually every Subaru will have the exact same chassis. It can vary in length and things, but what they tried to do, and they did a great job, is to improve the ride, improve the handling, and make it quieter inside with this new platform. And I got to say, they did a great job. I kind of admit on the air to having a bias towards Subaru. I just love them as a car company. I love the cars that they build. But there's two things that stand out for me on Subarus. The symmetrical all-wheel drive system is amazing and has been for years. And then the second thing is the safety. Subarus, and they made a standard in their SUVs this year, but they've had a system called Eyesight for a lot of years, and they just keep improving on it. And essentially what happens is you've got two cameras mounted very high on the windshield. You can see them from the outside, but you can't see them from the inside. They surround the rearview mirror. And those two cameras are constantly monitoring the road ahead. And so what it'll do for you is it will bring you to a complete stop in an emergency situation. It'll put you back in your lane if you stray out of your lane, and it helps with every aspect of the driving. We had a Cleveland, Ohio listener call us a month or so ago, and he and his wife had gone and bought a new Subaru upon my recommendation. I think they got the Outback, actually. But the wife didn't want to spend the money on the Eyesight system. It was a 2018. And again, they've made it standard equipment for 2019. But she didn't want to spend the $1,200 and something bucks, and he kept telling her, hey, the Car Pro says it's worth every penny of it. Get it. So he won, and they got it, and she was driving it. The very first week they had it, she was looking away and messing with the radio. Took her eyes off the road. Traffic stopped in front of her. She would have never seen it. And the Eyesight system took over and shut the car down and saved an accident. It's just that good.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this SUV, it's got a ton of cargo area. It's a 5-passenger, rated at 33 miles to the gallon out on the highway, which is great mileage for these days. And the sticker price on this thing is just a little over $31,000. It's got a panoramic moonroof, and I mean, it's loaded up. $31,000. It's just an outstanding value, and that's kind of what I love about Subaru. And it's been fun this last few years to watch the rest of the country figure out Subaru's a great vehicle, because for years they only sold in places that got really bad weather, a lot of ice, a lot of snow. Now they've had over 60 months of year-over-year sales increases, and there's no end in sight. And what I love about what these guys at Subaru do is they haven't gotten greedy. They haven't. There's very few incentives on them. They have resisted the temptation to overbuild them, even though they're as popular as they are today. And too many car companies, when they get a vehicle that's selling well, next thing they do is flood the market with them. Everybody, then suddenly they have to put the big rebates on. That drops the resale value. Subaru resale value is the best in the industry after 3 years, and that says a lot.
Well, how are they in durability compared to others?
They're fantastic. They really are. I've said this for years. I put a Subaru up against Toyota or Honda any day of the week for long-term reliability.
Yeah.
They've been super. I'm just a big fan.
Jerry, what does the industry say is the most durable vehicle out there?
They don't really say. I mean, they track the industry, J.D. Power and some of the others. They track, the number of recalls. They track the number of warranty claims. But really, there's no data out there on cars that consistently go over 100,000 miles, and that was the standard for years. Now, it's 200,000 miles.
Yeah,
but there's no.
Exactly.
And I get that from listeners.
Well, let me tell you something, Jerry. I am, unlike my younger days when I wanted to trade cars every 2 years. Now I've reached an age where I don't have that bug anymore, and I bought a Toyota Highlander. Because I was told, and what I had read was that the Toyotas will run a lot of miles, and that's what I want. I wish it would run 1 million miles, and I would never have to buy another vehicle.
I tell you, I've got a listener in Austin that has got a Toyota Tacoma, and he kept me in the loop after he got to 900,000 miles, and videotaped his odometer tripping over to 1 million. And he never had a wrench on that engine.
Oh, jeez.
So certainly you can say Toyota.
Well, my Highlander has got 98,000 on it, and I put batteries in it and put a set of brakes on it, and I keep the oil changed regularly, and that's all I've done to it.
That's all you got to do to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Toyota. That's what they do. Honda, same kind of story. And then I put Subaru right there with them. I've seen a lot of Subarus well over 300,000 that never had anything done to it but routine maintenance.
Interesting.
So, Jerry, what do you got going on CarProUSA.com?
Just compiled the list of the best-selling SUVs year to date. So we've got a pretty good idea right now where we're going to end up for the year. And looks like RAV4 is going to finish in first place. Nissan Rogue actually led for a few months, and then Toyota turned the incentives on. Later today, we will take a look at the 2019 RAV4, which is all new, and I suspect that will propel them further into first place because this thing's really pretty. So your top 5 SUVs, regardless of size, RAV4, Rogue, CRV, Chevy Equinox, and Ford Escape.
So all the ones that are on the top are smaller SUVs then?
They are. And that's a very, very popular segment right now. Mm-hmm. Compact SUVs because of the fuel economy, and they just keep getting better. I mean, again, this Subaru at 33 on the highway with all-wheel drive, pretty amazing what you see today. And you can see the Outback ended up 11th, and the Forester ended up 13th on the top 20. So, in 4Runners down there, Highlander ended up 8th, just so you know. So you're in good company there with your Highlander. But we've got another story going up a little bit later today about Teen Driver Safety Week, which starts this weekend and runs for a week. It happens every year, and it's just to bring attention to teen drivers and what the dangers are for them.
Tell them to stop texting.
Yes, and you look at the stats on teen driver accidents. It's pretty scary, guys.
Yeah. Well, we'll be looking forward to that. Jerry, thank you for coming on. It's you're on from 11 to 1 every Saturday right here on 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO, and we can't wait to listen to you then.
We'll be there this coming Saturday, guys. Have a good week.
All right. Thanks, Jerry. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.